Okay, welcome back. I'm going to put in a couple of lines for today's ones because it's kind of like one of those lots of hands, lots of fingers type of things. And if I don't put in a couple of little guidelines, I might completely mess it up. So I'm kind of going to do a couple of little guidelines in there just to kind of give myself some idea of where everything's going to be. Right. And then get straight in with the ink. See, we're going to start off with some lovely big hands because today's word is the warrior. So my idea is to kind of have some worrying man using all his fingers and holding his head and whatever, in a kind of worrying pose. It's the first thing that comes to mind. So I'm going to throw these big kind of gnarly chunky fingers. Somebody was asking earlier about the kind of splashing of the ink when I draw. It's a combination of I did kind of train my hand to kind of flick when I want, but also sometimes it's basically gets stuck in the paper and it flicks. But in most cases, I like to control it. I like to be able to have a splash when I want and not it be a mistake. Most of that kind of splashing is like, for example, here on the outside. I like to have something like that kind of gives an outer line splashing effect to whatever I'm drawing. In many cases, I feel it helps. So there's that poor guy who's kind of holding his head with his big gnarly fingers. Another big gnarly finger over there. Just kind of holding on to the other side of his head. I did work at many very kind of professional studios in my time, and in those days working for Disney and people like that, everything had to be very kind of precise and perfect. And over the years I've kind of tried to teach myself to loosen up and kind of get a bit of a more of a feel for what you're doing, and I really enjoy the fact that I'm not being so precious. Obviously, when it comes down to illustrations, I need to be much more careful and much more kind of selective about the lines and the kind of craziness that I use. To kind of make the illustration final and something a little bit more beautiful to look at. Let's get these warrior eyes in there. But with these type of sketches, I love just to kind of go a little bit crazy and just kind of have fun, A lot of artwork should be about fun anyway. I think sometimes it gets all a little bit too serious sometimes, Art should be a journey. It should be an enjoyment, It's like whatever you're doing, it should kind of push some of those wrinkles on that he's doing with his fingers on his head. See, I mean, my own drawing makes me laugh. I mean, that's a good thing, right? I mean, it might be pure madness, but at the same time, it's an enjoyment when you're drawing and you're kind of feeling that the ride. You're feeling the pleasure of it. It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like doing yoga or something. It is very, 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 very relaxing. It's very kind of beautiful for the mind to do some artwork. It doesn't matter if somebody sees it or if people like it or they don't like it. It's all kind of the enjoyment of doing art is such a beautiful thing. And if you don't do art, try it. You know, go and get some paintbrushes and paint your garden or something, you know, paint your cat. And I do think that it opens up a part of your mind that's needed. It really is. Part of your mind that relaxes. Is he looking worried? He's looking quite worried, isn't he? So all those worried lines coming down there. He's looking very worried now. And I've been doing artwork all my life. Literally. Ever since I was a kid, I can remember drawing. I can remember, not with ink, but every single thing else. You know, getting into crayons and getting into pencil and stuff like that. I absolutely loved it. I was kind of addicted from a very, very early age. Benny's shoulder in there. And I loved it. I loved constantly drawing for people and, you know, loved that people would say, hey, draw me a dog, draw me a cat, draw me an elephant. I loved it. I absolutely was addicted to it. And it stuck with me. It's that pleasure stuck with me all my life. In my early jobs, in my early studio work, as long as I was working, as long as I was doing something, I was a very, very happy guy. Okay, here's the warrior. There's the warrior there. He's kind of looking worried, isn't he? Let's get that mouth down so we can kind of see that worried lip that he's got. That's nice. That's, yeah. That is a worried man. Look at that worried face. And so once you turn art into a pleasure, it doesn't become such a job factor. It doesn't become that type of thing of getting up and going to a job that, you know, by the end of the week you feel exhausted. By the end of my week, I can't wait for the weekend so that I can draw something that I haven't been drawing during the week. So this constant flow and constant excitement is there. I think he needs a little beard of some sort, a little goatee maybe. Let's get that little goatee going in there. And the weekends for me are as pleasurable as the week. I draw and I love it. And I can't think of any days ever where I don't, you know. I did go into the hospital for a long period of time. And basically, as soon as I was strong enough to hold up a pencil, let's get that back in there. Let's get a bit of depth in there on the back somehow. Oh, well, that's a funny one. The end of my pen fell off. Right. The end of my now look at that. Can you, oh, where's the camera? Left, right, right. There we are. Look, the end of my paintbrush fell off. Oh my God. Right? Time to get a new paintbrush. Dear, dear, dear. Mind you, that paintbrush has been sitting there for so many years. Knees. We need to get some knees up here. Show that worrying. I just put in some thicker back to it just to kind of give some weight to the drawing. I'm going to try and make him quiet. So that's our worrying man. And so anyway, draw for pleasure if you can. If obviously you can also get paid for it, and it becomes part of your life, then you're a very, very, very lucky person. A very lucky person. I have been a very lucky person most of my life. The fact that I'm able to draw and I'm able to get paid for it. Having your life built around absolute pleasure is a beautiful thing. Whether you know, if you enjoy yoga and you're a yoga teacher, or a football teacher and you love football, or whatever, that's really, really a very, very cool thing to be part of. And for me, it's artwork. Oh God, I enjoyed I enjoyed doing those fingers so much. I'm going to try and do some big, gnarly, chunky toes as well, like he's kind of barefoot or something. I've got a thing about digits. In fact, sometimes I enjoy drawing the fingers and toes so much, I sometimes end up drawing 6 or 7 of them. Yeah. Go and have a look through some of my drawings. You'll find it. That's his hippie trousers there. Let's get his other toes in there. I'm going to try and do a bit of a curled up foot for this one, so kind of looks like he's kind of in so much worry that he's curled up his toes. And worry isn't, you know, worry is not a pleasant thing to be going through, but let's give him some kind of little chair or something. Like the great thinker, you know. So this is the great warrior. He's on a little chair there. A little kind of podium of sorts. So this is today's bit of fun. There's a new group that I've joined that kind of draw every day, and it's nice sometimes to have a word. Sometimes they throw a word at you, and you know, today's word is warrior. So in some cases, you know, I would never have drawn a warrior unless it was for a book illustration or something. So today's story is all about this warrior. What is he worrying about? Write and tell me. Go on, send me a message. Send me a comment. What is he worried about? What has happened in his life? What has happened? Today, for some strange reason, at this time of the year, it rained. It rained very heavy. I was really not happy about it. Mr. Miro was not happy about it. He was kind of like all ready to rock and roll through the park, and that's nice. I like that one. What are we talking about? The Worrier. All right, let's give him some. For some reason, I kind of want to give him some stripy pants. Some stripy trousers, as we would say in England. Something beautiful about stripy trousers too. I've got quite a few pairs of stripy trousers. So this is today's Worrier, and you're gonna tell me the story. You're gonna send me a message and say the Worrier, and you're gonna tell me what was he worrying about. What is? I love his face. I mean, that's really quite a cool face. I love that. I do. I do love the fact that he's got this kind of goofy look to him and his little beard. Yeah, so the rain stopped us going out today. Usually it doesn't, but it really did come down hard. Usually if it's a little bit rainy, it's like, well, here, let's go get our hair wet. So that is the Worrier. I'm kind of happy with that. Not bad for a little 5-minute sketch or whatever it's been. 10-minute sketch. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. I like that. I think that's kind of funny. Him holding his head and worrying. All right, let's put my name on it somewhere down the bottom there, so that you kind of remember who did it. Kieron Siemens. And I'm really trying hard to get some subscriptions up on the YouTube. It's all free, so don't worry about it. It's just I need to show them that there is people actually out there that give a monkeys about what I'm drawing, and then they will kind of let me have up extra kind of possibilities with my site and my page. But it's nice to the fact that the kind of more it kind of builds up numbers, the more people actually enjoy it too. It's like, you know, if they see a site that's got like 10,000 people that have liked it, for some reason people like to join the liking. So this is today's drawing, and thank you very, very, very much for watching. I really enjoyed having you around, and I really enjoyed breaking my favorite paintbrush. Have a beautiful day. Don't forget to subscribe and follow some of the madness, and I'll see you again very soon. Have a beautiful day.